Imagine stepping into a busy restaurant on a bright afternoon. The room is filled with cheerful chatter and the sound of silverware clinking against plates. Suddenly, the mood shifts. A well-known millionaire, known for his expensive taste and demanding attitude, bursts into anger. With his face red and his voice thunderous, he starts yelling at a kind and hard-working waitress. In that very moment, something unexpected happens. The waitress responds with one calm sentence, and in that instant, the whole room falls into a deep, surprising silence. Today, I will share this incredible story with you, a story that shows how one brave act of calm can change even the most heated moments. It was a day like any other at a popular local restaurant. People came to enjoy fresh meals, laugh with friends, and relax after a long day. The restaurant was known for its warm light, gentle background music, and a staff that always wore sincere smiles. Among these dedicated employees was a young waitress whose friendly smile and quiet confidence made her a favorite with the regulars. On this day, however, a very famous and very rich man entered. He was dressed in sharp clothes and had an air of importance about him. Everyone recognized him quickly. He sat down at a corner table, and soon after, his order was taken. Most of us have seen or heard of people who believe that having wealth lets them do whatever they want. Unfortunately, the millionaire believed this too, and he expected that everyone should simply follow his wishes without question. Soon his meal arrived, but something was not quite right. The dish seemed a bit off, something he did not expect. For reasons that may seem small to you, but big to him, this tiny mishap set off an explosion of anger. Instead of handling things with understanding, he began to shout. The powerful sound of his anger echoed off the walls, leaving everyone in the restaurant wide-eyed and uneasy. In that heated moment, the stage was set for a surprising twist that would soon turn anger into silence and lesson into legend. The millionaire's anger was loud and his face grew redder with each passing second. He did not simply complain. He unleashed his frustration with a force that shook the air. The energy in the room changed almost immediately. Conversations faltered and ears tilted toward the commotion. The other guests held their breath, wondering how such a powerful person could be so upset over something as small as a meal that was not perfect. Now let's focus on the waitress. She was known not only for her skill in serving orders, but also for her ability to remain calm, even when things got difficult. Instead of meeting anger with anger, she took a deep breath and let her eyes show nothing but calm determination. With every muscle in her body relaxed, she looked straight ahead, not at the angry man, but at the room, as if to say, I understand you're upset, and I will fix it. At that moment, she spoke. There was no long explanation, no harsh words, just one short, steady sentence that carried a silent power. Even though we do not hear the exact words, the effect was clear. Her calm reply transformed the situation. The millionaire's raging voice dropped to a whisper, and the entire restaurant went silent. It was as if time had stopped for a few seconds. In that pause, every person in the room felt something they rarely do in such chaotic moments, a silent respect for the strength found in calmness. This was not just a simple, I'm sorry, or it's okay. It was a response that carried the weight of wisdom, respect, and a quiet challenge to anger itself. The action of speaking calmly in such a heated moment is something scientists have studied for many years. They tell us that when a person faces anger with calm, it has the power to make everyone around feel more at ease. In this case, one brave response acted like a spark that put out the flames of anger. even if just for a moment. It is a lesson that even the loudest anger can be disarmed by a single kind word. Let's take a closer look at why this moment was so powerful. In our brains, we have many parts that control our feelings. When we feel anger, a part of our brain sends out a signal that makes our heart beat faster and our face get red. Often, this signal makes us do things we might regret later. But when someone chooses to speak softly, it sends a different signal. It tells the brain to slow down and think clearly. Think of it like this. If you are blowing up a balloon by pumping hard and fast, it can burst. But if you pump slowly and gently, the balloon fills up nicely without bursting. The waitress acted as that gentle pump. Her calmness changed the flow of emotions in the room. The sound of her voice was like a gentle breeze on a hot day, cooling down a fire that many did not even see coming. Scientists call this ability emotional intelligence. It means having the skill to control your feelings instead of letting the feelings control you. It is important for everyone, from children learning to make friends to adults working in big companies. The millionaire, used to getting his way through loud orders and fast reactions, was surprised by this simple display of emotional intelligence. His anger froze, and for a moment, everyone had the space to breathe and think. In many ways, this event was like a live lesson in self-control. Studies show that when one person in a crowd demonstrates calm behavior, it can help others feel calm too. This is why group activities like meditation or deep breathing exercises can have such a powerful effect on everyone involved. The waitress, by choosing her words with care, reminded the millionaire and everyone else that even the strongest storms can be tamed if we know how to listen to our inner calm. Even if you have ever felt upset with a friend or a sibling, you might understand that anger can sometimes take over. But what if you decided to pause and speak gently instead? That is exactly what the waitress did, and it helped everyone in the restaurant feel a little bit better, even if just for a few seconds. Now let's blend in some technical details with a touch of personal opinion. In the study of human behavior, both science and common sense tell us that our words have incredible power. When we use kind and calm words during a storm of anger, those words can act like magic to slow down the rage. I firmly believe that every time we choose our words carefully, we set off a chain reaction that can change even the harshest of moods into something softer and gentler. From a technical standpoint, the change in tone and speed of speech has a measurable effect on our bodies. When a person speaks slowly, it sends a signal to the brain's control center, the prefrontal cortex, that it is time to relax. This helps lower the heart rate and even brings the muscles back into balance. In our story, the waitress's choice to speak in a slow, respectful, and measured tone was not accidental. It was a natural response born from years of experience, practice, and, most importantly, a deep-seated respect for others. I must say, as someone who believes in the power of calm communication, this event is heartwarming. Sometimes we think that raising our voice is the only way to be heard. But this story proves that the softer approach can be even more effective. It reminds me of a time in my own life when a friend chose kindness in a difficult moment, and it changed the whole direction of our conversation. By removing the loud anger, we all got a chance to understand each other better. Relatable examples are everywhere. Imagine you spill your drink at a birthday party. Instead of a big fuss or crying, a calm, "don't worry, accidents happen," can turn tears into smiles. This is exactly the kind of power that the waitress used. Her one sentence became a bridge that mended the moment, turning hostile anger into shared quiet and understanding. It shows that no matter how strong a moment of anger might be, We all have within us the ability to choose a path of kindness and calmness. Even for those of us who might get frustrated sometimes, this story is a lesson. The next time you feel upset, think back to the waitress's calm way of handling a tough moment. It is a reminder that there is always another way, a way that brings peace instead of more problems. Taking a moment to breathe before reacting is something that can make a huge difference. It reminds me of the famous saying, think before you speak. In our fast-paced world, we sometimes forget that a few slow breaths and gentle words can be the key to solving even the biggest conflicts. This story is a shining example of that truth. After the waitress's brave act, the entire restaurant began to change. The energy shifted from anger to reflection. People started looking at each other with new eyes. They realized that even a seemingly small action could have a huge impact on everyone around. That moment in the restaurant created a ripple effect. One act of calm spread outwards like ripples on a pond, touching every person in the room. We see this all the time in life. One kind word from you or me can light up someone's dark day. Just as the ripple in a pond grows larger and larger, so too does a single brave act of kindness. Whether it is at school, home, or anywhere else, each of us can be that calming influence in a world that sometimes feels too loud or too angry. This universal lesson that a gentle word can be more powerful than a shout applies to all ages. It is a lesson that even a 10-year-old can understand. It teaches us that every time we choose to be kind instead of angry, we make the world a better place. The restaurant's silence this day was not just about the millionaire or the waitress. It was about showing all of us how to turn anger into peace with one wise choice. As our story comes to an end, I want you to remember this important lesson. No matter how loud or angry the world may seem, a calm heart and gentle words can make all the difference. The millionaire's anger was silenced not by force, but by one brave and respectful act by a humble waitress. Let this story remind you that when you use kindness and thoughtful words, you help create a peaceful place for everyone. If you enjoyed this story and learned something new, please hit the subscribe button so you never miss another tale that may inspire you to be your best self. Also, check out the video on your end screen that dives even deeper into the power of calm and kind words. It might just change the way you handle your own tough moments. Thank you for listening and learning with me today. Keep embracing calm, share your own stories below, and remember, even a small act of kindness can spark a big wave of change. See you in the next video.